Hey everyone, this is John Assaraf again, and congratulations on taking the first step to really not just talk about or think about getting your life on target, but for taking action to actually doing it. Now, hopefully you've downloaded the Life on Target manual. If you haven't, it would probably be a good idea, so put this on pause and come right back. The manual is going to really give you a step-by-step process for what I call is really setting your vision, which is the first step of achieving every goal. Most people look at their circumstances, what's happening in their lives, and then they say, well, based on these circumstances, this is what I should do or this is what I can do. And that is the furthest thing from the truth. The best ways to achieve your goals is to set goals that you don't yet know how to achieve and to get your brilliant genius brain to figure out how to do it. So one of the things that I learned back in 1980 with my mentor was that if I was to set my goals in writing and have a deadline for that goal and then did everything that I could in order to act towards the goal, then the chances of achieving the goal would be so much greater. So every goal starts with your vision of where you want to be at a predetermined date or time in the future. So as you're filling out your forms and as you're really thinking, what I want you to ask yourself, not what am I capable of achieving, but I want you to ask yourself, what do I want to trade my life for? What do I want my health to be like? What do I want my relationships with my family, my friends, my employees, my colleagues at work, my children if I have children? How much money do I want to earn in the next 12 months? How much money do I want to earn in the next 6 months, 3 months, 12 weeks? That's 3 months. So the key behind achieving goals is to have the clarity first of what's the bullseye. If you think about what an archer does or what a pilot of an airplane does, they put in the coordinates of the destination. An archer looks at the bullseye and then focuses and aims their arrow and then releases that arrow for it to travel through space and time to achieve the bullseye as the goal. A pilot sets the coordinates for where they want to go. And then what takes place? Well, the automatic pilot on the airplane keeps the plane on track. Well, you and I have a system in our own brains that when we program the destination, the vision, or the goal into this amazing computer, and we focus on keeping it on track, it will come up with thoughts, ideas that you've never even thought about. And so when I was taught at the young age of 19, 20, and 21 to set my goals in writing and then to come up with the ideas that I could come up with first, that set things in motion towards achieving those goals. Now, that's the first part. And I say that's the first part because the art of writing down what you wish, what you hope, what you would like to achieve, that's part of your conscious mind or your logical, rational mind. And so you think about what you want and you write it down. It's a nice dream, it's a nice goal, it's a nice hope. But everybody knows that wishful thinking and hopeful thinking is not how goals are achieved. I often say that so many people suffer from two diseases. One is the inflammation disease called excusitis, and the other is the drug disease called hopium. What I want you to do is have hope, don't have any excuses, but take the time to be very clear on exactly how much will you weigh 12 months from now? How much money will you have made in the next 12 months? Not based on logic or not based on what you think you can achieve because of what you've achieved before. I want you to just sit and imagine as much money as you would like to make, the lifestyle you'd love to live, the relationships, the spiritual groundedness, the stress-free life that you want. I want you to imagine what that feels like before you write it down. So think about it, feel it, and then see if you can get into resonance with it. Why? Because all of the latest brain research is showing us that writing down a goal is rational and logical, as I said before, but the part of the brain that's going to get you to take action, your motivator, is the emotional side of the brain. So if you are motivated, which means you have a motive for action, motivation, then you will get totally engaged with that vision and that goal, and you will overcome any of the psychological challenges you have, any of the fears you have, any of the doubts you have, any of the lack of confidence or lack of certainty. So it's critical that you take the goal that you have and you get emotionally involved with that goal, because it's the emotion that will give you the fuel to actually do what's needed. And so the first part of your goal setting guide is to ask you, what do you want? What do you want to trade your life for? I want you to design your life as if nothing would get in your way. Design your life as if you have no obstacles, no fears, and no doubts. What would it be like if you were writing a script, a Hollywood script, for somebody, not you for now, but for somebody that was living a really wonderful life that you would love to live as well? Write down that story and then break down each one of the parts. Health, wealth, relationships, career, business, spirituality, charity, experiences that you want to have, and start to formulate an idea, an image in your mind. You use your imagination, one of your 6 faculties of your conscious mind's imagination, your ability to formulate an idea inside your mind. Like many of the greats, whether it was Carnegie, building these amazing structures around the world, whether it was the Wright brothers, whether it was Thomas Edison, everybody who has succeeded with any vision started with their imagination. And so dare to imagine, dare to dream, and then dare, or I should say, I dare you, write it down. Write it down inside your manual. Take a pen, write it down, get clear, get scared. And why do I say get scared? Whenever you write down a goal and you get emotionally attached to that goal, then one part of your brain recognizes that that's something you haven't achieved yet. And when you haven't achieved something that may be out of your comfort zone, a trigger happens in your brain, just like a thermostat that's feeling, cold air coming into a room or hot air comes into a room, triggers a cybernetic mechanism. We have triggers in our brain that happen every time that we're out of our comfort zone. A signal is sent causing us to feel a little uncomfortable, out of my comfort zone. And when that happens, a message is sent from a part of the brain called the amygdala to the motor cortex of the brain, which is really the motivational center of the brain, the behavioral side of the brain that gets you to take action. And it says, uh-oh, there may be some danger here. And when you feel like there's possible danger in achieving a goal that you haven't yet achieved, that you might fail, you might not succeed, you might succeed and then fail, you might look dumb, you might make mistakes, people may judge you. Whenever we have these unconscious or even conscious thoughts that we might not achieve the goal, and then we get the signal of fear, that signal for most people stops them in their tracks. And one of the responses in the brain is when you feel fear or significant doubt, it'll cause anxiety. It'll cause you to either fly or flee, run away. It'll cause you to freeze, not do anything, or it will cause you to fight your way out of it. I don't want you to fight. I don't want you to run away, and I don't want you to freeze. I want you to become aware. Aware of the feeling that simply writing a goal down and thinking about it is causing within you. If it excites you, awesome. If it scares you, be aware of the feeling and learn how to override it with this simple step. Ready? Stop. And just take 3, 4, or 5 very, very deep breaths. Then look at it again. And if it still scares you when you emotionalize it, stop. Take 3, 4, or 5 very, very deep breaths. And what happens from a neurological perspective, when you stop, the feeling of fear, the feeling of doubt, the feeling of anxiety, right when it's happening, then you're interrupting that neurological firing in the brain, the chemical and electrical message. You're interrupting that pattern, and therefore you're not giving it any more fuel. And what you're actually saying to your brain is, hey, I'm in control. Body, I'm in control. So all the highly successful people that I know feel the fear, have doubts, have some concerns sometimes about achieving big goals, but they learn how to overcome them, no differently than somebody who is learning how to dive. You know, they might dive off of a 1 yard diving board, then 3 yards or 10 feet, then maybe 20 feet and 30 feet. Each time they go up the level, they become more scared. But because they've learned how to manage their feelings and their emotions, they become more adept, more able to feel the fear and do it anyway. So what I want you to do is take the time, set aside an hour or 2 hours or even 3 hours. Make this more important than the last vacation that you planned. This is planning your life, and you're worth it, and your life is worth it. So take the time to determine and decide, A, like I said before, what do you want to trade your life for, and then put it in writing. Now, putting it in writing is just the first step, because after you put down what you want, then I want you to take the time to reverse engineer, work backwards from the goal, and ask yourself, if you want to achieve X in 12 months or 36 months, then what do you need to achieve, or what do you want to achieve in 6 months? Then what do you want to achieve in 3 months? What do you want to achieve in 1 month? What do you want to achieve in 2 weeks? What do you want to achieve in 1 week? Now, the reason I say this is because if you can set your brain up to see shorter, smaller milestones or goals that you can achieve, it's much more tangible and much easier to see a smaller goal than a longer term goal. And most people underestimate what they could do in a long period of time, but they tend to overestimate what they can do in a shorter period of time. So what I want you to do is get really good at not just setting goals, but then backing into what can you do. And so let's say you have a health goal of losing 20 pounds, or as I prefer to call it, releasing 20 pounds. So let's say you want to do that in the next 6 months. So you'd say, okay, in the next 3 months, I'll lose 10 pounds. In the next 45 days, I'll lose 5 pounds. In the next 3 weeks, I'll lose 2.5 pounds. Well, that means that I could maybe walk today for 30 minutes. And I could eat 1 less carrot cake, which I love, by the way. And so you break it down to the ridiculous, so that the first thing that happens is you look at it and go, well, I could do that. I could do 5 minutes or 10 minutes. I can make 1 extra phone call. I could not eat that 3 days a week, and I can exercise 3 or 4 days a week. And what you're looking to do is shift the balance from what you're doing now to developing a new pattern of thought and behavior. From I can't do it, or it's too hard, or it's too far away, to I can do a little bit today. It's called micro goal achieving. You do little baby steps towards the big goals. And what happens is, if you remember Newton, he said an object in motion tends to stay in motion. Well, if we can get you to set a goal and to get you in motion towards that goal, that would be like getting in your car right now and saying you're going to go on a 1,000 kilometer or 1,000 mile journey. And you have just your car and headlights, and you get in the car and you can only see maybe 300 or 400 yards in front of you. where you get in your car and as you go 100 yards, 200 yards, or 300 yards, then the lights in your car allow you to see a little bit further. That's exactly how this goes. Don't worry, don't be concerned about how to achieve the big goal in one bite-sized chunk. Break it down into little chunks because the little chunks build upon each other, and that is like the compound effect of interest. If you had, for example, you remember the story of what would you prefer to take? You know, $1 million right now, or $1 that doubles itself every day. So on day one, you would get, let's say, $1. On day two, you get $2. On day three, you get $4. On day five, you get $8. Which would you choose? $1 that doubles itself every day? Or would you take $1 million right now for 30 days? Well, guess what? Some of you would say, you know, I'll just take the $1 million. Well, if you follow the math, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, by the time you get into day number 25 and 26, you're doubling into the millions of dollars. And so the equivalent of that story is around you taking one action or 2 or 3 every day towards your goals. Now, when you do that, I want you to imagine, what is that doing to your own brain? What it's doing to your own brain is it's getting you to focus on what you want and to start achieving little bits at a time. So whether it's getting rid of your debt, start off with a little bit every day or every week. Take one of your bills and just pay that off. If you're looking to make more money, figure out one way to make a little bit more money so that you gain the confidence and the certainty, and more importantly, the habit of thinking about what you can do instead of why you can't do it. Forget about all the stories from your past. Forget about their circumstances right now. Forget about, why it might be too hard. Maybe the big goal is too hard, but to achieve an incremental gain over the next 30 days, that'll give you a little bit of extra confidence and certainty and personal power, is doable by everybody. So you don't have to set crazy goals. What you want to do is create the patterns, the neurological patterns, to become someone who can set a goal, develop a plan, and then do the little things every day towards that plan. A lot of people think that highly successful people achieve big success in big quantities. And what most people don't realize is most of the highly successful people have spent years doing little things every day towards achieving success. And then they do little bigger things, and then little bigger things until that becomes normal for them. And so the key with your goal achieving guide is to get you started on the path to setting your goals, creating some timelines so that you have some focus, creating some action sets of what you can do in order to achieve your goals, and then getting you to take action daily to achieve them. When you make this decision, I hope you make it today. Right now is a great time to make it, because you're going to arrive somewhere in 3 years, in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years, I hope. The question is, are you going to arrive there because you have set the course for your life and your results, or because you've allowed the winds of change, the winds of circumstances to direct you here and direct you there without a purpose or without a rudder? See, goals give you the destination. As you're on your path, then all of the strategies and tactics and people come into play. And then you might turn left, you might turn right, you might speed up, you might back off. But as long as you know where the destination is, you're priming your brain to focus on that. When you prime your brain to focus on a goal, so many magical, wonderful things happen. One of the things that I love the most about setting goals and then getting emotionally involved with them, meaning that I feel them, I think, I act, I pretend inside my own mind like they're real. I believe that the 100 trillion cells in my body are just like radio transistors that send out the message or the frequency like a radio station would send out some music based on what the DJ's playing. I believe that when I have clarity of my goals and I have my emotions behind those goals, I'm amplifying every one of the cells in my body. I feel like I'm sending that message out so far and so strongly that everybody around me that resonates with that is magnetized or attracted to that. That is what I call the law of resonance, resonating with my goals at a logical level, emotional level, and on a spiritual, humanitarian level. That's phase one. I also believe that in order to achieve the goals, I've got to actually do something. So I don't believe, like we talked about in the movie The Secret, that you just have to think, believe, and you'll achieve. I think it's think, believe, get off your ass and do the right things, and then you'll achieve. And so the key, set your vision. Set a big, beautiful, amazing vision for your life. Every day, I want you to look at your vision. Once you finish the entire manual, what I want you to do is get a synopsis, just one page, and write down each one of your goals just on one page. So create one page for health, wealth, relationships, career, business, experiences, charity. And then every day, sit down and look at it. Then close your eyes and feel it. Think about it, feel it. Feel it, think about it. Feel it, think about it. Think about it, feel it. Create a neurological and emotional loop so that you can at any time close your eyes and feel that. That way, when you do that every day, and by the way, 2 minutes a day, 2 to 3 minutes a day, just to start your day, to prime your brain to say, hey, team, that's the course we're heading towards. Find anything in my physical world, any books, CDs, people, teachers, friends, family, anybody that's going to help me achieve those goals. Every day when you set your intention on those goals and you give it the attention, the next part is no tension. Intention, attention, no tension. Let it go and do what you need to do. And allow the orderly perfection of the universe around you to bring forth to you what is needed while you do what you need to do. So it's a collaborative effort between this amazing universe and the universal laws and the unseen forces that we really don't even know the laws of quantum physics or quantum mechanics. We speculate, but we really don't know a lot of them. We know physical laws really well, but the unseen forces we don't know, but we have some inclinations that there are correlations between our thoughts and our emotions and what shows up in the physical world. I've got many experiences with that, and you may know of some of them. But I also know that when you really follow your passion, you really take the time to set your goals in writing, with timelines, with plans, and you focus on them every day, and you do what you can every day, and you seek out the help every day from whoever you can get help, then you will be on the path, on the road to achieving your goals instead of just setting your goals. The key is to get on the right path. The key is to do the right things in the right order at the right time. And just about every goal that you want to achieve for health, for income, business growth, investments, for just about anything you want to achieve, chances are how to do it, somebody's already figured out. So you could find some answers either in my books and some of our other programs, on Google with other people's programs and books. How to achieve something is the easiest part of the whole equation. The key is to choose what you want, learn the skills and the knowledge and strategies of how to do it, and then to get yourself emotionally involved and take action every single day. When you do that and you repeat this process over and over again, you will achieve all of your life's goals and dreams. I hope you've enjoyed what I've got to say about living your life on target and really having a purposeful, fulfilled life. And If you like this, share it with your friends. I'm totally cool with that. I want to really spread the word to the world. And I want to help people achieve their goals just like my mentors over 30 years ago helped me understand the value of setting goals, the value of creating the plans, the value of focusing on them daily, and the value of internalizing it, and most importantly, the value of trading your life for what you love. So you're fulfilled and you feel like your life has had amazing purpose and meaning. God bless you and thank you. Have an amazing, amazing life. And you know what's really fun for me? Share your successes with me. I love to hear of the successes from clients of mine and friends of mine who have either read my books or done one of my programs, because that fuels me to do more and to give more. Have an amazing life, and I look forward to meeting you maybe at one of our events or maybe on Facebook or somewhere. Join my Facebook fan page if you haven't yet, because I'm on there every day and have just an absolutely spectacular life, living it on target.